I'm not a very good speaker, and that's why I asked for some help tonight. So I got some backup guys that are going to help me out with my speech. Um, I've known Matt since he was in the womb also. So, um, um, but I don't like to talk in front of a bunch of people, so we're just going to do a quick toast to Matt and Jenna. Happy long life. Go ahead, everybody drink up. Okay, that's not the end of my speech. That was just the start. We're just practicing, okay? I'm going to turn it over to some helpers of mine. They know Matt through high school, and we didn't go to college, and I didn't go to high school with Matt or college, but they got some stories to tell on him, so I'm going to have them come up and help me out here, and I think Bryce McCory is going to be the first one to start.
Thank you, Brian. So, we got a couple jokes to start you off with, so I hope everyone went ahead and got a drink because you're going to need it to get through this. So, what's the difference between outlaws and in-laws? Outlaws are wanted.
So Bryce and I, we're going to try to keep our speech like a mini skirt tonight. Long enough to cover the essentials, but short enough to keep your attention. Matt, playing baseball, basketball, everything growing up, you're probably used to a curveball being thrown at you where you ask your dad to be your best man, expect him to give the speech, and then there's someone who had a mullet a month ago, and a guy with a pretty, say, decorated past at wedding receptions, especially at this venue, holding a microphone, talking about you, and here we are anyways, so let's get started.
Jen, I'd like to start and say you look absolutely stunning tonight. Matt, not so much. I mean, you did the best with what you got, but I mean, these pictures are going to be on your wedding card, so you need to get it together. Anyways, I've known Matt. We've played sports together. I played baseball and basketball with him, and I gotta say the best part about playing with Matt was it wasn't his skill, wasn't his talent, is the fact that he made me the second shortest player on the team.
Okay, so anybody who's wondering who I am, my name is Brian Fry, and I met Matt over at Greensburg Fire Department, and I guess that's where the story began, and I have one little story that I can't ever seem to get out of my mind about him, and had to do, if anybody's familiar with Greensburg, we have a car factory over there, the Honda factory. They make the Honda Civic. And when Matt was first hired on at Greensburg, it was my particular shift out there. There was only one guy out there, one firefighter out there 24/7, and we had to orientate all the new guys to go out there. So, I'm out there for my shift. My boss calls me, says, "Hey, I'm gonna send Matt out there to start orientating. Can you show him around and get him badged and stuff?" Okay, whatever. So Matt comes out, and we proceed to go all around the factory, showed him everything, and we get back to he's real interested. He's asking me all these questions. What's this over here? What's this over here? A little unbeknownst to me at the time, he had already signed the paperwork with Seymour Fire Department, but he was making sure that he made me feel like I was doing my job. So we got back to our little area or whatever, and Matt's like, "Dude, I gotta go to the bathroom." And I'm saying number 2, I gotta go number 2. So I'm like, "Hey," "well, you gotta go over there and get a drug test, and then get that, you gotta get that done before, we can get that paperwork over to Central, and then we'll get a picture taken and get you badged and everything." Okay. So he proceeds. I hold him off, send him over to the nurses, He goes in and gets his drug test done. So if anybody in here is familiar with how to do a random drug test, you'll find this, pretty funny. He comes back, and he's like, gives me his paperwork. He's like, all right, let's go over and get our picture. I'm like, all right. I was like, we got to walk, it's like 5-10 minutes, 5-minute walk over here to Central, and we got to get your picture taken. I was like, do you need to go to the bathroom real quick? Because you said you had to, go number 2 before we went in there and took your... He's like, no, I'm good. You're good? Well, this piques my interest a little bit. So I said, you're good. So he's like, yeah. He's like, I went, at the drug screen. Okay. Now, I've taken this drug screen before, too, to renew my badge. And before I go in to relieve myself, they tell you not to flush when you're done with your sample. He's like, I know. Okay. All right. So, comes to find out, he goes in there to do his business, and he comes out, he does not flush, he does as told. He comes out, and he makes the nurse go in there and flush for him. So, that is my story with Matt. I will never forget him. And the short time you were at Greensboro, brother, it's going to last for the rest of our lives. So, appreciate you having me in this. You guys both look awesome. And we'll have a fun night. Cheers.
So, I'm Chris Baker. I also met Matt at Greensburg Fire. And like Brian said, he is an unforgettable person, good or bad. That's your decision. For us, it's been good. My embarrassing story for Stud is, and we call him Stud. I hear they call him Butters! But we called him Stud because he was the pretty boy in the department. So at the station, it's later in the evening. Everybody's kind of cooling down, taking showers, getting ready for it was his last day, yeah. Getting ready, taking showers, getting ready for bed. And I go in the back room where the lockers are, and all of a sudden I hear this bang, splash, and then this white streak. White. I mean, white. So Stud was taking a shower, and he finished his shower, and somebody baby powdered him. Instead of just taking it and showering it off, he decides to chase down the culprit. White. Did I say white? A streak, and I was like, new guy. I'm gonna like him. So that's how I kind of met Matt. Unforgettable. But yes, thank you both. To many good years. I'm going to pass it on because I don't know what these guys all have in store.
Thank you. I've been hearing these stories from these firefighters, and last year or two I've been seeing Matt really starting to bulk up a little bit, getting that firefighter body, and I was like, man, I need to start hitting the gym a little bit more. But, who here thinks that Jenna is just marrying Matt because of his body? And I know a tiny part of him thinks so as well, and I think we all know what part that is.
Brian, Jenny, we really want to thank you for inviting us over for Taco Tuesday on a Saturday. It's pretty good. There's nothing like Brian, who coaches throughout his entire life. He coached us, and now he continues to let his players play while he passes the work off to us to do. So that was very nice of him. But anyone who knows Matt knows his hard work, his work ethic is a great attribute of him. Anytime you call him, he's there, working hard. He'll show up with a cooler for a Busch Light 5 minutes early and ask if you need a beer and go to it. But I think one thing that attests to Matt's hard work is how he is a Stuckwish on one side, a Peters on the other. He somehow managed to date someone that grew up within 3 miles of him that's not a cousin. So he's a hard worker, and that's what we have to say about that.
It's funny when we got together to work on these speeches. You know, we both thought of something to say that was positive about Matt, and it was both the hard work. And I remember when about the first time I stayed over at Matt's, he tells me, "Hey man, when we wake up, we're gonna help feed the calves." I'm like, "All right, that's cool. I like animals. It'd be a good time." Well, he seemed to forgot to tell me that we had to wake up at 5 a.m. Well, 8-year-old me didn't know that 5 a.m. existed. I thought that was a mythological time that my parents talked about, but the whole time we went through it, he never complained. He went through it, did his job, and his work ethic really made an impression on me and really helped me throughout my life. And I'd like to thank you for that. You've been a real positive influence on me, and I can't thank you enough for that. And I wish the both the happiest of marriage, and I know that the two of you together is going to be incredible. So thank you. Thank you for having me, and we're going to pass it back to Brian to finish off with a toast.
See, I wouldn't have talked near that long, and you wouldn't have got near those good stories. So, but marriage is tough, just like Pastor said tonight. It's a lot of work, and these guys just alluded to Matt's work ethic. And I think both of you have to work together, and your marriage will be just fine. I hope it turns out just as good as mine is. That's brownie points for me, please. But I think you will have a very happy, long life together, and as long as you communicate together and share everything together. And if that don't happen, Jenna, you let me know, okay? All right, you got my number. But now we can do a real toast to the bride and the groom. Very happy, long life together. Cheers.